You took the evening off and it did nothing for you. That is not because you need better rest. It is because of what you believe rest is. Here is the shape of it. You finally stop, you put on the film, you sit down, you open the game. And about 11 minutes in, a voice starts running a background calculation about everything you could be doing instead. So you are not working, which means nothing is getting done. And you are not resting either because you are supervising yourself the entire time. You paid the full price in hours and collected almost none of the benefit. Then you conclude that rest does not really work for you, so you schedule less of it. That is the worst possible response, and it is completely reasonable given the evidence you have. That is not a discipline problem. It is a belief doing exactly what it was always going to do. 4 studies, published in 2021 by Tonieto, Malcock, Rechek, and Norton, looked at people who hold one specific belief, that leisure is wasteful. And the finding is unusually direct. Those people enjoy leisure less. Not less than they should, less than other people doing the very same thing. Same film, same walk, same evening with friends, measurably less enjoyment out of it. And the belief traveled with worse outcomes generally, lower reported happiness, and higher reported depression, anxiety, and stress. The detail that makes it convincing is what they ruled out. The effect was not about the activity. It held for active leisure and passive leisure. It held for things you do with people and things you do alone. So this is not a story about lazy hobbies versus productive ones. Change the activity and nothing improves, because the activity was never the variable. The belief is. You are carrying the same thought into every kind of rest, and it is charging you at the door. And the demand for an answer here is not imaginary. In March of this year, searches for feel overwhelmed and feel stressed hit record highs, and burnout at work reached an all-time high. Now, the honest caveat. These are associations, not proof of cause. The studies do not establish that the belief causes the misery rather than traveling with it. But notice that the direction barely matters for what you do next, because the belief is the only part of this you can actually get your hands on. So try this. Before you rest, name what it is for, out loud. This walk is for the problem I could not solve today. Then let the rest be for that, and only that. You are not stealing the time. You already spent it. Now the uncomfortable part, and the researchers found it themselves. If you frame leisure as serving a productive goal, enjoyment partly comes back for these people, which sounds like the solution and is really a workaround. Look at how it works. It agrees with the guilt. It accepts the premise that rest has to justify itself and then quietly finds it a job so it can pass the test. Use it anyway, because a partial fix beats another wasted evening, and most useful things start as a workaround. But be honest about what it costs you. The version where you rest simply because you are a person and people need rest is still out of reach. That one is not a technique. It is a slower change, and it is the one actually worth walking toward. So here is today's one thing. Take the next block of time you have already decided is yours, and before it starts, say what it is for. Then, when the calculating voice shows up around minute 11, you have an answer ready, and you can go back to your evening. If this was useful, subscribe. Mechanisms, with the limits left in.